Hey everybody, starting this video a little different today. I was born and raised in Texas. And one of the things, I was just out mowing my grass, and one of the things that I really come up with some of my best ideas when I'm mowing my grass, kind of like also when I'm out in the shower, I come up with some of my best ideas. And one of the things I was thinking about today was, what is my why? What is the why? Not only just like the why of life, but the why of, why did I start a business selling Pokemon cards? There's certainly easier ways to make money than getting 10% here and 10% there. And so while I was out mowing the grass, I was thinking, you know, being diagnosed with ADHD in my late 40s, certainly my wife and I have this joke that I have this kind of graveyard of hobbies gone by, or things that I've hyper-focused on over the years. Certainly some medication has helped a little bit with that to kind of quiet the ADHD and the RPMs in my brain, but it's still a challenge from time to time. This has probably been one of the things, selling Pokemon cards, that I've stuck with the longest. And so it's been a lot of fun, it's been rewarding, and certainly it's allowed me to do a few fun things with my family with some of the money that I've made, even buying, like I said, my camera and my microphone for my kind of a space there in the basement. But I'm just recording this on my iPhone right now. Any of you can do that. But then, Alan, why would you sell cards for 8 months and then also try to start a YouTube channel from scratch a few days ago? And I don't really necessarily have a good answer for that. I've always been very creative. I've always loved creating things. I certainly, back in the day, if you've heard of the video game Star Wars: The Old Republic, I was part of a podcast called Mos Eisley Radio that revolved around that game. And it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed creating, and some of the adventures and the relationships and some of the fun I got to have in that creation process. But as I've poured into the community, been posting on Instagram every day for the last 8 months, and have over 1,200 followers there, and then launched this YouTube channel, I think one of the main things is, you know, being able to provide some financial margin for my family to be able to do some things above and beyond what we typically do. That's certainly one of the catalysts. My job that I do for a living is one that I really, really enjoy. It gives me purpose. I love the organization I work for. I love the team that I work with. And so certainly I'm not doing it to build a business to escape that, because certainly I feel like I've been called to do what I do in my daily job. But I do enjoy the community. Even yesterday, having Nathan over. Nathan is a young man that I met standing in line back in March or April of this year. Moved here from Portland, or from Oregon. I don't know if it was Portland specifically. Got to know him, and I bought some of his collection last night. He came over to the house, and we did a deal right there at the kitchen table, and he was here for probably 30, 45 minutes, and it was a great conversation. And he's bought cards from me before, and now I've bought cards from him, and so it's a give and take. And so certainly the community is a piece of it. One of the things that I really love about this hobby, back when World of Warcraft first came out, I keep hearkening back to World of Warcraft, but there were midnight releases at GameStop. And I remember all the hustle and bustle. You had to get physical CDs and DVDs back then. And so you had to actually pick them up and take them home to install them. You couldn't download them from the internet. This is back when the internet was far less speedy than it is now. And that feeling of community and camaraderie as people stood outside the GameStop and would divide into factions, and some would say for the Alliance and some would say for the Horde, and there was that just fun wink and nod of all of that. And I think that community is part of one of the reasons I do this as well. I've met a lot of really cool people, and I think that selling Pokemon cards really does kind of hit that geek side of who I am. I've always been basically a teenager in my head, even though I'll be 50 in just a few months. And so certainly adding a YouTube channel and creating content here on a regular basis is not going to be easy, and it's certainly not going to be something that is going to be a slam dunk to get, whether it's monetized or to build a community here. But I really enjoy it. I've enjoyed the comments that I've seen coming back from my friends, my new friends online so far. I even love seeing some of the disagreements where people disagree with some of the things that I've said. And all of it brings me joy and brings me a lot of fulfillment. And so if you're someone that's on the fence, maybe sit down for a minute. I still don't know that I've really been able to hone in to why I started doing this, why I started selling Pokemon cards. But as I've said in other videos, I've always kind of had this entrepreneurial business side. I have a degree in business. And so it scratches that itch. It scratches that geek side itch of mine. I've always suffered from, my joke is I've always suffered from high self-esteem. And so I do care what people think. But at the same time, if someone looks down on me because I enjoy shiny cardboard, that's okay. Like, everybody has their hobbies. To some men my age, it's golfing, it's fishing, it's yard work that I just did. And my yard certainly looks beautiful. And I love my house and I love my yard. But packing envelopes, getting them out to customers, people like you that are excited about this hobby as well, is a ton of fun. And even the thank you notes. I would never take away writing the handwritten thank you notes and drawing a little sketch every time I send out an order. That brings me joy too. So what is your why? Why do you do what you do right now? And what would it take for you to make a change? Because you want to do something different. You want to seek a change in your life. Maybe start a side hustle like I have. Maybe you even have more time than I do to do that. And you can even make money faster, and you can get to TCG level 4 faster than I did. I did it in 3 weeks. Maybe you can do it in 2. But whatever that next step is, I just encourage you to take a chance. All you're going to do when you fail is learn. And as long as you learn from each failure, from each mistake, you're going to get better over time. Even yesterday, as I was sitting down with Nathan making that card purchase at my kitchen table, pricing out the cards came so much quicker. I could look at cards and be like, oh, that card's worth $15. I just saw it on TCG Player the other day, or I just sold it a week or so ago. Oh, that card's worth around 50 cents. Oh, that card's worth around $1.75. I couldn't do that 8 months ago. There's no way I could do that. And even the ability to create thumbnails and upload videos to YouTube, I couldn't do that 5 days ago. I can do it now. I can do it pretty quickly. I've never recorded a video with my phone to post to YouTube. That's going to be the first time I've done that today. And so let's look at fear and tell it that we're not afraid anymore. Look at the anxiety, look at the fear, take those next steps, turn the camera on yourself, start a YouTube channel, go on Instagram like I have over the last 8 months. Just post a picture or a little video every day about whatever you're doing. Make it an online journal for maybe one day your kids to watch and see what their mom or dad or friend looks at. Maybe you don't have kids yet and you want to do this full time and start a brick and mortar. Do it. Start today. Get some of your cards aside that you can part with. Get some of your collection. Turn into a bad collector and turn into a great entrepreneur. Go to tcgplayer.com tonight. Set up an account. Link your bank account to it. List 10 cards tonight and then get those out the door. If you're an avid collector, you already have penny sleeves. You already have top loaders. Go buy a pack of 50 envelopes. Go buy some stamps and start selling cards. What's the worst that can happen? You can make some money and make some friends, and then maybe you enjoy it. And maybe all of a sudden it turns into something like this where I'm making about $1,000 a month. You can do that too. So start today. Leave down in the comments below, what is your why? And if you don't have one, let's talk about it. Leave it in the comments below. I'm cheering you on. I want to be a hype man for your hustle. Thanks for joining me in my yard today. It's a beautiful day here in Minnesota. My name is Alan. This is Flip House Finds. And thanks for being here today. I'll see you in the next video.